Hello and welcome to Noted. We promised you we'll always meet up with somebody who's very interesting. Now, today we're going to meet someone who was in Oman from 1977 to 1985. That's not all. Actually, uh, our former colleague Ajay Kumar Pandey, Dr. Ajay Kumar, was in Mumbai at this restaurant where he saw pictures of the celebrity chef with different leaders of the world. And on one picture, it was Oman Observer and printed on Thursday, September 22nd, 1994. So this is even more interesting because who is a celebrity chef? He is Chef Hemant Oberoi. And of course, we all know that he went through a very difficult phase at one point, an incident that he will explain to us more about. So, welcome to Oman Observer, Chef Hemant Oberoi.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to meet you, and I understand you have Oman Observer on the wall, and that's a great pride for us. And tell us, how's life?
You see, I moved to Oman in 1977, and I had just joined the industry about 2.5 years back in 74 mid. And when I moved to Oman as executive chef of the Royal Guest Palace, which was managed by Taj Group of Hotels, and it was a different challenge for me because I was heading a department, and where the challenges were that only heads of states were coming to that place, either the prime minister, the president, or the second in command. They were the ones, and we had lots of state banquets, and a lot of things used to happen as Oman was growing at that time. It's just the beginning of a new era in Oman,
True.
and for me it was, I was already in the that mode of meeting the various heads of states and doing a lot of state banquets. We had
I'm sure.
Jordan and everybody coming every year, and we saw the visit of Shah of Iran. We saw the various other heads of states, and Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Charles, to name a few.
Mhm. It must have been a beautiful time. While you're in Oman, did you also get to travel?
Yes, when I was in Oman, we used to go to Bahrain, Dubai, to have a look at various things, what's happening in the industry over there, what is the competition like. And I was very intrigued with the local cuisine, actually, also. And that's why we used to travel to the interiors of Oman, go to the Nizwa, Sohar, go to some villages, learn how to make shua and how to make the food, so that we wanted to give the very, very authentic local food.
I see.
And then about the Lebanese cuisine and the Syrian grills and everything. We used to travel to Dubai to have a look at, some of the restaurants which had already come up in Dubai.
Mhm.
And it was very interesting for me. And that gave me, in fact, my whole background of Muscat helped me to open a Lebanese restaurant in Taj in Mumbai.
I see. Now, even in the backdrop, you have a beautiful painting of water. It could be waterfall, sea.
This is one of the nice, interesting painting. Somebody made it for me, and this is the seven horses coming out of waterfall.
Oh, seven horses. Oh, yes, I do see the horses. And then,
Y-
yeah, amazing. It's interesting. So you mentioned the shua and you mentioned the Omani cuisine. Actually, now today you're an entrepreneur. You've been a celebrity chef throughout, actually, and they call you the pride of Taj. Actually,
No, that very sweet of them. But I was just doing my work. I'm passionate about my work still, and even after moving on from Taj, after doing a long stint with them for 42 years,
yes.
and I never wanted to hang my boots. So I thought, let me continue my passion and relish it till the time I can work. I must work.
Now, did you ever try Shua in India?
Oh, yes, we did. We did. In fact, in the first couple of years when I came back, we had a lot of state visits by some of the people. And we used to have a delegation of Oman International Bank. And every year their annual function was with us. And we had to display the local cuisine over there. And they used to get surprised, that how do we know this cuisine?
Mm-hmm.
And right from Samak Makli to Shoa to all the mezes and everything we used to produce.
Actually, Chef Hemant Oberoi, you then had to face the incident that happened in Taj, which required a lot of calmness under pressure. Could you tell us more about that?
See, it was one of those evenings which probably I will not forget in my life because it so happened that it caught us unaware, to all of us. And it was late in the evening when we heard the first bullet firing. And my colleague called me up and he says, "Sir, there's a shooting going on."
Mm-hmm.
And jokingly, I told him, I said, "Look, every day there's a shooting." I thought he was talking about a film shooting at the gateway. So he says, "No, sir, there's actually a gunfire, and one of the people have been shot dead in outside the restaurant." And I don't know, there were instinct immediately came to my mind, and I said, "Just lock the room, lock the restaurant, and switch off the lights." And that's the same message he gave it to the other Indian restaurant, and probably that thing worked because the guys walked through the corridors and looking at both the restaurant, they were pitch dark, so they didn't even enter or try to force open the door. And that's how in the first shot only we could save about 70-80 lives.
Yeah. Oh.
Otherwise, they were exposed to them.
Yes. So, of course, that is the movie also 2611, right?
Yes, I think he's played it. Anupam Kher has played it so well, and he was not even allowed to meet me till the movie was released. He spoke to my colleagues and my peers and my seniors and about me, how I used to behave and how my reactions were, how my talking was. And because the producer director purposely didn't want him to act like an actor, he wanted a flair to come. So that's why he was not allowed to meet me. The time we met was when the movie was released in Toronto Film Festival.
Okay. Fantastic. Now, for the secret of your success, there are a lot of youngsters also in Oman who are now very well established chefs in their own rights, and celebrity chefs too. What would you like to say when it comes to actually holding on to that passion? Because sometimes it may not be the best results financially, initially at least, but how do they hold on to it? And for you, maybe it was easier because you started in 2 years, you were abroad already in your case. But otherwise, what would you say, even as an entrepreneur now?
You see, the generations have changed. Today, the new generations have got more exposure to the internet, WhatsApp, FaceTime, Instagram, everything. And they get a bookish knowledge so fast. And the TV and the media has made everybody a celebrity chef. Only in 2 years' time they become. I don't even know the meaning of celebrity chef actually. And they are in a hurry to earn money. Most of the young guys want to be only TV chefs. And my view is that first be a chef, then a TV chef.
Right.
Because TV chef's food nobody tastes.
It looks good. You're right. Yes.
So I tell them, don't be in a fast track, because my belief is that curry in a hurry is my biggest worry.
That's the third line. Curry in a hurry is your biggest worry. Okay. So you're saying
So
time. Food takes time to cook.
your roots have to be very strong, your basics have to be very strong, and till the time you learn the basics, right, don't do any fusion, don't do anything nonsensical, because everybody is into the molecular food, everybody is into the smoke coming out from and molecular cuisine, the dry ice doesn't cook the food.
Mm,
The don't cook the food. Food has to be cooked with the hands, and the passion has to come from the heart.
mm. Very
The
interesting.
only produce a good food. You can't produce the good food otherwise.
Mm, very interesting. Now, of course, the talk is on people counting calories, and suddenly food has become the enemy. There was an era, historically, where roses were celebrated in cuisine. It tells you how much, the aroma was involved, all senses. But today, it has almost become an enemy. What do you have to say about that?
When you eat the food rightly, nothing is your enemy. Do it rightly.
True.
Don't do it rightly, everything can become dangerous. Everything is your enemy. Everything you do in limits is fine. I mean, who says red meat is bad? You eat red meats once in a week or one, and don't overindulge yourself into that.
Mm,
Uh, that's the way I look at the things. You can control your diets, eat on time, do a little bit of exercise. Everything will be fine in life.
mm,
And just leave it to the destiny. You can't control destiny. It is not only the food which increases your cholesterol. I think people are sadly mistaken. It is the stress in life
mm.
which increases your cholesterol more than the food habits.
True. Yeah.
So reduce your stress first, and the cholesterol will come down.
Finally, if we were to reduce our stress, what would be the material, the food on the plate, if you were to give us a stress-free meal?
For me, the biggest stress removal was I would go down and sit by the seaside
Mhm.
and the waves.
Mm,
And if this kind of a ocean where the high tide comes, the low tides come, and then the sea is calm, what is a human being in life? Our emotions and passions should not overtake anything in life. We should be as calm as the sea it can be.
beautiful. We can be. It's such a huge ocean and still yet so
Yes,
calm. And only
yes.
once in a while it gets into the turmoil. But you have a very good point, Chef Oberoi. And Chef Hemant Oberoi, we want to really, really thank you for joining us today, all the way back to where you were in Oman. We are in Kurum, very close to Gopra, where you were. And what would you, if after the pandemic, if you are traveling, which place would you like to visit in Oman? I have an idea. I think it's going to be Salala.
Have to come back and see after many years, almost 37 years, 36 years now, how Oman has grown, what it was. My uh, son was born there. So I have very, very fond memories of the city and the people. I still tell everybody, probably the best people I ever found was the locals in Oman. They were so hospitable, they were so nice, and very calm, composed. They would, and hospitality one could have learned from them actually.
Mm. Yes, for example, the coffee.
Yes. And no, even the warmth, with which they will smile and serve. You go to somebody's house, They will ask for water, they will ask for family, they will ask for you the details of your family and everything. It's so nice to see that culture.
It's like step by layered level of hospitality, as you rightly
Yes,
pointed out. That's interesting. Maybe it's time you wrote a book, or maybe you have already written a book.
I wrote one book, which is cookery book, and now I'm on to writing second book of mine, which is called My Spice Journey.
Ah, okay.
So
Which is your
be over.
favorite spice? Which is your favorite spice?
Uh, I play around with a lot of spice, not anything in particular, but I love the flavors of Indian spices. I love the flavor of lemongrass,
Mm.
and I play around with lots with that.
Okay. It's definitely a very spiceful journey. We'd love to read your book and looking forward to that. Chef Hemant Oberoi, thank you so much. You have a lovely Monday in Mumbai. Thank you.
For having me on your show.
Thank you, sir. You have a lovely day.
Thank you.